Let's dive right into one of the most powerful and often invisible forces out there, psychological manipulation. Together, we're going to unpack how it works, why it's so dangerously effective, and, this is the most important part, how you can build a defense against it.
We're starting here for a reason. This quote, it just cuts right to the devastating human cost. And look, this isn't some abstract theory we're talking about. This is about real people, broken friendships, and shattered families. It's the voice of someone who wasn't just a victim, but was actually turned into a tool of manipulation themselves.
These names, they're infamous for a reason, right? From Manson's twisted family to the absolute horror of the Jonestown massacre, and even to the modern-day nightmare of NXIVM, these extreme examples are a terrifying reminder of just how far manipulation can push people. And that leads us to the central, haunting question. The people who followed them weren't monsters. A lot of them were good, smart, normal people. So what kind of psychological hacks were used to completely bypass their critical thinking and their moral compass?
And this is where it gets really personal for all of us, because the very same tricks, maybe just on a smaller scale, are used all around us every single day. In toxic relationships, in high-pressure groups, even by so-called friends. Recognizing the playbook is your first and best line of defense.
All right, so first things first. We need to understand the foundation. Let's take a look at the raw power of persuasion and how manipulators start to build that web of control.
Okay, so this isn't just random chaos. There's a distinct pattern here. It's almost like a playbook, so let's open it up and see exactly what tactics they use to get inside your head. So let's walk through this. It often starts with the fake family. They prey on that deep human need to belong, and they become your only source of love and validation. Then the isolation begins. They slowly cut you off from your real friends and family until their voice is the only one you trust. Next up is gaslighting, twisting words and situations until you literally start to question your own sanity. Then they demonize questions. Simple curiosity suddenly becomes an act of betrayal. After that, they reward blind obedience, basically training you to stop thinking for yourself. And finally, they create this feeling of fake reciprocity, a false sense of debt that makes you feel like you owe them your absolute loyalty.
And this right here, this quote just hits home, doesn't it? It perfectly shows the end result of that playbook. Your own words change. You stop having disagreements. Instead, people who question the group are labeled with coded words like suppressive. You actually start policing your own thoughts until your individual voice is just gone.
Okay, so we've got the how. We've seen the playbook. But the real million-dollar question is why? Why are our brains so vulnerable to these tactics in the first place? To answer that, we've got to look at the science of the human mind.
And believe it or not, the answer lies in this fascinating split within our own minds. A difference between actually feeling with someone and just knowing what they feel. This is the empathy divide.
So think of it like this. On one side, you've got effective empathy. This is when you truly feel what someone else is feeling. It's that gut punch you get when you see someone hurting. But on the other side, there's cognitive empathy. This is more intellectual. It's the ability to understand what someone's feeling and why, without necessarily feeling it yourself. You can figure out what makes them tick.
Now this is where it gets absolutely fascinating and kind of scary. This is the manipulator's secret weapon. People with psychopathic traits often have a huge deficit in that affective or feeling empathy. They just don't feel your pain. But, and this is the crucial part, their cognitive empathy can be razor sharp. So they can create a perfect map of your emotions, your hopes, your fears, your insecurities, all without the burden of actually feeling any of it. It's the perfect tool for knowing exactly which buttons to push, because they don't feel the shock when they push them. And get this isn't just some psychological theory. This imbalance has a clear signature in the brain. So let's actually go inside and see what that looks like.
So using these amazing brain scanning tools called fMRI, researchers can literally watch this stuff happen in real time. And they found that a couple of key brain regions act, well, differently. You've got the amygdala, that's kind of like your brain's alarm system, and the ventral striatum, which is a huge part of your reward and motivation center.
This table really connects all the dots for us. So look at that top row. When it comes to being deceitful, their brain's alarm system, the amygdala, shows less of a response to someone else's fear. The result? They literally don't register another person's distress. But then look at the second row. That same part of the brain can overreact to anger, which leads to aggression. And finally, that risk-taking behavior, their reward center is underactive, which helps explain why they're always chasing bigger and bigger thrills just to feel something.
So what all this brain science really means is that this imbalance we're talking about, logic without emotion, it's not just a metaphor. It is a real, measurable thing that you can see in the very wiring and firing of the brain.
So when you look at all this, the detailed playbook, the neurological advantage that makes a manipulator so effective, it's easy to feel, well, a little helpless, right? How in the world do you fight back against that?
Well, the good news is the defense isn't about learning some complicated counter trick. It's actually about building up your mental shields by strengthening something fundamental deep inside yourself.
It all boils down to this: confidence. And I don't mean arrogance. I mean a deep, solid trust in your own perceptions, your own feelings, and your own worth. So why is confidence your ultimate shield? Well, think back to that playbook we just talked about. Gaslighting only works if you second-guess your own reality. Isolation only works if you feel like you can't make it without them. A deep, grounded confidence short-circuits their entire game plan. It becomes your internal compass, letting you trust your gut when something feels off, and empowering you to make decisions that are good for you, not for someone else's agenda. Ultimately, it all comes down to this one powerful question. Knowing the tactics is a huge first step for sure, but the real shield, the thing that makes you bulletproof, is being prepared to trust yourself. Because when you're grounded in your own reality, you become an incredibly difficult target for anyone trying to control it.